What stood out from Week 7? Let's get into it. After recently setting a record for most receptions without a receiving touchdown, Josh Jacobs, after 211 career catches, finally had his first receiving touchdown. The prior record holder was Gerald Riggs, who had a 10-year NFL career in the 80s, and he went 201 catches without a receiving touchdown. Congrats to Josh Jacobs. This Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft touchdown was insane. Watching it live, I definitely thought it was either intercepted or broken up, but on replay, safety Kalen Bullock had the ball literally go through his hands, and Tucker Kraft made an amazing catch. And after remaining unsigned due to some off-field issues, new Packers kicker Brandon McManus made a 45-yard game-winning field goal. He was just signed in the past week. Look at this nasty 45-yard touchdown run by Jahmyr Gibbs. Just completely embarrassed Cameron Bynum. This was a great game that came down to the end. Ivan Pace had a go-ahead fumble return for a touchdown, but Jake Bates, the Lions kicker, had a 44-yard game-winning field goal, and the Lions are now atop the NFC North. Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles on Sunday and is out for the rest of the season. Some Browns teammates like Myles Garrett, Jameis Winston, Greg Newsome, and even LeBron James were not happy with the Browns fans booing while he was down. On the bright side, Nick Chubb came back and scored a touchdown for the first time in 398 days. The backup quarterback for the Browns, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he got hurt, and then Jameis Winston came in and had a signature Jameis Winston touchdown. And while we rarely see this happen in football, I have seen it before, but Jamar Chase did the Iverson step over Ty Lue. Unfortunately for Greg Newsome, he was on the wrong side of this. Some coaches coach to win, and some coach to cover the spread. Antonio Pierce feels like a cover the spread kind of guy. I've criticized him for this before, but this guy kicks field goals at some of the worst times possible. So we'll go from needing a touchdown to still needing a touchdown. Their defense luckily gets a stop, but the game ends with a Gardner Minshew interception inside his own 10-yard line. Great coaching. It's not often in the NFL where you see one player lose to the same team twice in a week, but that's what Davante Adams did. He technically lost to the Steelers as a member of the Raiders last Sunday, and then on Sunday night, lost to them as a member of the Jets. Things did not go so well for the Jets in Adams' debut. Garrett Wilson had this ball tip off his chest and intercepted, and Russell Wilson made his Steelers debut. And Wilson actually had the most passing yards for a Steeler in his debut. From playing bad defense to eating their own boogers, the Jets had a rough one. Amari Cooper scored his first touchdown as a Buffalo Bill, but with him being acquired during the week, he did not have a full grasp of the playbook just yet. Luckily, his teammate Keon Coleman told him where to run this route right before scoring his touchdown. It's a pretty bad look for the Titans defense when a guy can say just run a post and he still scores anyway, but Cooper in Buffalo might be a problem. For some reason, Trent Williams continues to punch guys wearing helmets, which he did get ejected for. The Niners lose Brandon Ayuk for the season with a torn ACL, and the Chiefs, on the back of their defense and old man Kareem Hunt, remain undefeated. Saquon Barkley made his return to MetLife Stadium where he once played as a Giant, and Barkley, in his first game as an Eagle returning to that stadium, had the most rushing yards there in a game of his entire career. Only the Giants. Saquon now has as many touchdowns in MetLife as any other Giants player this season. For reference, Saquon's played there for one game this year, the Giants have played 3. Daniel Jones has 0 passing touchdowns in his home stadium for 6 straight games, the longest streak since 2000. But it's alright, because Joe Shane said during Hard Knocks, without Barkley, they'll be fine. Have you ever seen a quarterback overthrow and underthrow a ball in the same pass? I present to you Bo Nix. In fairness, he's been alright lately, and the Broncos are actually winning games. Spencer Rattler in his second career start was hilariously bad, and late in the game, Cody Barton returned a fumble for 6. Not a good night for the Saints. And Sean Payton in a revenge game had a very good night. No Travis Etienne in London, no problem. Tank Bigsby had 2 touchdowns and 118 rushing yards. At least for the Patriots, Drake May still looked very good. Just when people started calling the Seahawks frauds, they beat the crap out of the Falcons, and Kirk Cousins looked rattled the entire day. Jaden Daniels is now week to week with a rib injury, but fear not, because Marcus Mariota looked very good. For Andy Dalton, he looked pretty terrible, and had this horrible pick 6 to Dante Fowler Jr. A lot of us probably found out that Jalen Reagor still plays in the NFL, but we found out for the wrong reasons. Kyler Murray's 44-yard rushing touchdown was the difference in this game. The Chargers could not find the end zone, and known great kicker Chad Ryland had a game-winning 32-yard field goal. Mike Evans became the 11th player to join the 100 touchdown catches club. He's still 97 behind Jerry Rice for the all-time lead. The Ravens did go up 41-18 on a Derrick Henry receiving touchdown, but the Buccaneers in some garbage time recovered an onside kick and made the score look close, although it did end up costing them Chris Godwin for the season, and now Mike Mike Evans is out for the next 2 games at least with a hamstring injury. That'll do it for what stood out in week number 7. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and I'll talk to you guys next time.
There he goes, needs a block, he's in. Jahmyr Gibbs answers back for Detroit, and they're on the board.